Today I'm 31 years old, and I want to share 31 lessons that life taught me by the age of 31. Now, why should you listen to me in the first place? Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't be the person you're listening to. And that's actually one of the lessons that I believe life has taught me over the past 31 years is who you listen to. And I only want you to listen to me if you truly feel like my life inspires you, if you feel like watching my content, listening to my videos really makes you become a better version of yourself and walk out your fullest purpose. And if it doesn't, then there are plenty of other people that probably will do that for you. And something that I'm very aware of on a daily basis is who I'm listening to and what I am listening to. And I think that's a big thing. But just for me personally, over the past 31 years, I've been married for 8 years to the love of my life, Taylor. I have 4 kids. So I've adopted one. My wife and I are foster parents. We fostered 4 children up until this point. We currently do have a foster placement right now. So I have 4 kids, 4 and under. I run an online fitness coaching business that's called Ransomed Bodies Training, and it's world known, and we've been able to help over 1,000 people up until this point, and it's been such a blessing, so amazing. I have over 2.5 million followers across all social media platforms. I'm also a WNBF pro natural bodybuilder, so fitness isn't just something I talk about, but it's something that I truly practice what I preach, and I believe that. And I truly believe that fitness is the gateway to really improving every aspect of your life. And that's what I want to dive into today. So I'm going to share 31 lessons that life taught me personally. And I'm going to break these lessons up into, I think I have 5 or 6 different sections. So section number 1, and we're going to dive straight into it. Some of these I'm going to spend more time on than others, and others I'm just going to run straight through them. So the first one is about taking ownership and responsibility over your life. Number 1, the problem you are facing today might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. So this is the definition of true leadership. True leadership is being able to identify a problem and be like, that isn't a problem that I created, but it's my responsibility to fix. And oftentimes you will be faced with problems in life that you are not responsible for in the first place. And so most people put the blame when they experience problems in life. But if you truly want to become a leader, if you truly want to become the best version of yourself, you're going to have to learn to take on problems that you didn't create in the first place. And this is really hard because a lot of times maybe something happened to you that you had no responsibility or control over, and now it's up to you to fix it and solve it. And are you going to point the finger, or are you going to take ownership and be like, that was not my fault, I didn't cause that, I didn't put myself in this position, but it is my responsibility to get out of it. Number 2, life is less about bad things that happen to you and more about how you respond to those bad things. And so there's a ton of things in life that are outside of your control. And when things happen that are outside of your control, that they might be bad, they might be unexpected, it's less about, oh, that thing happened to me, and more about how am I going to respond to that bad thing. So in life, we can be one of 2 things. Either we can be victims or we can be victors. And so a victim is someone that constantly blames things that happen to them over and over again and never changes anything about it. A victor is someone that, yes, bad things still happen to you, but you're able to respond positively to that. And I'll tell you this, I've had a ton of bad things happen to me in my life. I have a ton of things where I look back on and I wish I would have done things a little differently. I have a ton of things that I look back in my life and I'm like, man, why did I make that decision? But sometimes it's less about those things and more about how you responded to those things. Number 3, is if you want to stay fat forever, then keep starting tomorrow. If you don't want to be successful, then just keep starting tomorrow. Have that start tomorrow mindset. Something I've learned over the past 31 years is that tomorrow truly is never promised. And if I set a goal of starting tomorrow, typically tomorrow never comes. And so if you have something you truly want to chase after in your life and you truly want to accomplish, then you have to do it now. You can't wait until the perfect time, because timing and tomorrow is never promised. The only day you ever have is today. And so if you have something big in your life that you're trying to chase after or trying to accomplish, then you're best off doing it today, even if you feel like you don't necessarily have the time to do it or you're not necessarily ready to do it. You will always get better results by starting sooner than starting later. Number 4, you're not too busy. Your priorities are off. God gave us all the same 24 hours in a day, and we all know that. But for some reason, we use the term and the excuse that we're too busy to get things done on a daily basis. And the truth is, busyness is never a valid excuse or a valid reason to not chase after the things that matter. Because all of us are busy. And I remember even for myself, when I was in college, when I was in high school, I thought I was busy. When I was in high school, I literally used the excuse, oh, I'm too busy to do this, I'm too busy to do that. When I was in college and I was taking 18 to 20 units and working full time, I thought I was busy. Now that I got kids and I run 2 businesses, I'm like, I'm really busy. And I look back at those days and I'm like, oh, I thought I was busy then. Life, that would have been a breeze now. And so you're never too busy to really do things that truly matter to you. Oftentimes we just use the word busy as an excuse. And even if you are too busy, the thing I want you to do is I want you to reframe that to I'm just prioritizing things wrong. Because when you believe you're too busy, then you're relinquishing control from your own abilities and your own capability to someone else or something else. Number 5, one of your greatest assets in life is your willingness to ask for help. Anything that I've accomplished in my life that's been great and I look back and I'm proud of, it's been done because I was willing to ask somebody for help. I was willing to humble myself and be like, I don't think I could do this on my own. I need some assistance and guidance. And so one of the shortcuts in life is finding someone that has the life that you want, finding someone that has been where you want to go, asking them for their guidance, and following the path that they took to get there. It's way easier to learn from someone else's mistakes than it is to learn from your own mistakes. And I know I've learned so many mistakes from myself, but I've been able to shortcut some of those mistakes by asking other people for help in all the aspects of my life. In marriage, in my relationship with God, in business, in fitness, I've gotten mentorship and help in all of those areas in different facets. Number 6, stop listening to people closest to you and start listening to people closest to your goals. And so all of us have big goals that might scare us at times. And you want to start listening to people that have the life that you want to accomplish versus the people that are closest to us. So a lot of times when we're experiencing problems in life, or when we're at a roadblock or we're trying to goal plan for the next level of our life, we look at the people who are closest to us and we ask them for advice. But the people that are closest to us that we want to get advice from, a lot of times they don't know what it takes to truly get there. So you're asking people in your inner circle how to lose 20 pounds, but they are still struggling to lose the 20 pounds as well. And so they're telling you tracking your food is crazy. They're telling you going to the gym 5-6 days a week is crazy, but let alone they're not walking the walk. So what I like to do is I like to only listen to people that have the goals that I want to accomplish if I want to accomplish something. And so I'll go to those people and I'll ask them their advice. I remember even when I quit my job, one of the things I did when I quit my job is I asked people that ran their own businesses what it would take for me to quit my job, instead of going to people that already also had jobs. And that was a big influence for me to be able to confidently quit my job and be like, I'm going all in on Ransomed Bodies, which is the company that I have now. Number 7, stop consuming and start creating. So instead of consuming reality TV or instead of consuming social media all day long and living vicariously through other people all throughout your day, you need to start creating the life that you want to live. I remember when I made this switch for myself, I went from stopped consuming sports all the time. So one of the things I used to obsess over sports, and I obsessed over basketball and football and baseball, and I would watch every single game. And when I made the decision, when I learned this one tactic right here, I was like, you know what? It's okay for me to watch sports, but I'm not going to watch it as much. I'm not going to be as invested. And I'm going to be more invested into my own future, into my own dreams, into my own aspirations. And I started creating the life that I wanted. And I started taking control over it. And so maybe right now you have people in your life that you just consume. You watch all day. Maybe it's like literal reality TV. You just watch all day and you just wish you had their lives. Instead of watching other people's lives, it's more important to create the life that is worth watching for yourself. Number 8, if you live for other people's acceptance, then you will die from their rejection. Don't live your life simply for the approval of other people. Because the truth is, it is your life and your life is very short. And so you need to live your life to the best of your ability and maximize the time you have here on earth. And you can't spend most of that time worried about someone else's opinion about how you're living your life. So if someone's hating on you, if someone is tearing you down for the way that you're living your life or the path you're taking in life, do not listen to them and don't allow their opinion of you to dictate what you do in your life, because it is your life. And at the end of your life, you're not going to care about their opinion. You're going to care how you lived your life. And I used to live this way. I would consider myself a people pleaser. I would consider myself someone who's like, I want to make people happy. But when I gave that up, I gave up the ability to make people happy, and I prioritize my own happiness first and my own purpose first, I started feeling so much more fulfillment versus only living for the purpose of pleasing other people. Now I want to dive into mindset and building resilience. One of my values in life is resiliency and being able to bounce back when you reach failure. And so number 9 is this: growth is hard, staying stuck is hard, and decline is hard. So you need to choose your hard. No matter what, things in life are always going to be hard. So when you push the boundaries in life, it's going to be hard. When you stay stuck in the current position you're in right now, it's going to be hard. And going backwards is also hard. So you need to choose the hard. So it's not like this option is easy, this one is hard. All of them are hard. So just make the choice about what hard you choose to accomplish in your life. Number 10, start setting 12-month goals, not 12-week goals. And this is something that I've just found personally in fitness, that people who set a 12-month goal in fitness, they're like, I want to lose this much weight in 12 months, or I want to bench this much in 12 months, or I want to be able to run a 7-minute marathon, or 7-minute mile in 12 months. Those people always get better results and they get better changes than the people who only set 12-week goals. There's nothing wrong with setting 12-week goals, but you should also set those 12-month goals. So expand your time horizon on where you're going to accomplish your goals. Most people lose because they quit too soon. So if you feel like right now you're seeing results too slowly, start to expand your time horizon on when you expect those results to actually happen. Number 11, done is better than perfect. Oftentimes we chase perfection and we don't allow ourselves to mess up in the process. So I think messy action is always better than inaction. So if you're waiting for either perfect conditions or perfect scenarios for you to start something or for you to finish something, you're never going to actually get to the goal in the first place. Done is better than perfect. So if I'm doing a project and I'm trying to create something, I always remember, let's say I'm putting out a video. It's better to put out an imperfect video than it is to never put out a video at all. When I first got started on social media, my videos sucked. I was a horrible communicator. I was a horrible speaker. I was a horrible editor. But I put them out anyways. And the only way that I got better was by actually doing it. Number 12, gratitude and anxiety can't coexist at the same time. So choose gratitude. If you experience anxiety, if you experience depression, if you get stuck in your head all the time, you cannot be grateful and anxious or stressed or depressed at the same time. It's literally impossible for your brain to have both of those things at the same time. So one of the things that has helped me stay resilient and push through and build mental toughness isn't necessarily grit. It's actually looking at my life and being grateful for what I have versus being ungrateful for what I don't have. Number 13, it's never been easier to win in today's world because everyone is so distracted. The best way to become successful in your industry, in your fitness goals, in your relationships, it's less about what you say yes to and more about what you say no to. And so most people in your competition, they're very distracted. We live in an extremely distracted world. And so for me personally, every single day I'm asking myself, how can I become more focused today? How can I focus on the one thing that truly matters when everyone else around me is distracted and doing a million things? This is the downfall of multitasking. Number 14. So now what I want to do is dive into some fitness and nutrition truths. I want to talk about what it actually takes to see change in your body. Because when you change your body, your entire life shifts. So number 14 is this: losing weight isn't complicated, it's simple. So losing weight is simple, but it's also hard. And so instead of overcomplicating your weight loss journey, you need to focus on the things that truly matter. I'm talking about how much you're moving your body in terms of steps, how much you're lifting weights, how healthy of food you're eating, your protein intake. Focus on the pillars, the basics. Those things work. And so instead of focusing on new fancy weight loss principles and weight loss tactics, I want you to focus on the basics and getting very good at those things. It's simple, but it's also hard. Number 15, your habits dictate your weight more than your genetics do. And so a lot of people will blame their genetics for why they can't lose weight. They will blame their ancestors, they'll blame their parents, they'll blame their environment. It's like, no, it's your habits why you can't lose weight. Do genetics play a role in weight loss? Of course they do. Do your habits play a bigger role? Yes, your habits play a much bigger role when it comes to how quickly and how much weight you're able to lose. Number 16, if you're eating in a calorie deficit right now, but you're not losing weight, odds are you're not in a calorie deficit. And so a lot of times we think we're eating in a calorie deficit, and maybe we're not tracking all the food. Maybe you're not tracking your food at all. We think we're burning a ton of calories, but we're not burning as much calories as we think we do. We're tracking our food Monday to Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those weekends, you forget. Or you're tracking most of your food, but you're not tracking the snacks, you're not tracking the licks, you're not tracking the bites. If you're eating in a calorie deficit, but you're not losing weight, the odds are you're probably not in a calorie deficit. Number 17, calorie burn trackers overestimate calories burned by 28 to 93%. So yes, I'm talking about the calories your Apple Watch says you burned, the calories your Oura Ring says you burned, the calories your Fitbit says you burned, the calories that the treadmill says you burn when you go to the gym. A lot of times these calorie burn trackers overestimate the amount of calories you burn by a lot. And what this does psychologically is it causes you to eat more food because you're like, oh cool, I burned 500 calories, so I can just eat back those 500 calories. So instead of looking solely at calories burned in a workout, you need to look at calories burned within a 24-hour time frame. This is also called the total daily energy expenditures, the amount of calories that your body burns within 24 hours. This is a much more accurate indicator of how many calories your body's burning than it is about the calorie tracker on your Apple Watch. Number 18, tracking your macros is not a food disorder. The same way tracking your budget is not a spending disorder. So this goes back to the people that you listen to. If you have people in your life telling you you're crazy for tracking your food, you need to chill out a little bit, you're taking this fitness thing too seriously, do not listen to them. Allow that to go in one ear and out the other. It's the same exact concept of budget tracking. Can you save money by not tracking your budget? Absolutely. Can you save more money by tracking your budget? Absolutely. So tracking macros is the same principle. The reason why we track macros is because it is a more accurate and it is a quicker way for you to lose weight compared to not tracking macros and just eating healthy. Number 19, exercise is not a punishment. It is a reward for your body. You don't go to the gym to punish yourself for the bad decisions you made over the weekend. You don't go to the gym to compensate and burn more calories for the bad decisions you made last night when you were in the pantry at 8 p.m. You go to the gym because you're rewarding yourself for living a healthier lifestyle. I go to the gym because I am privileged to go to the gym and I am privileged to eat healthy. And when you think about it that way, you always get better results versus I'm punishing myself, I'm trying to break myself down, I'm trying to beat myself up. Number 20, food isn't your therapist and you cannot eat away your emotions. You will have a really hard time getting in shape, losing weight, getting those six-pack abs, getting rid of the love handles if you continue to use food as a coping mechanism for your negative emotions. Every time you run to food to deal with your emotions, it almost always makes the negative emotion you're running from worse, whether that is stress, depression, anxiety, etc. So you need to learn to deal with your emotions without running to food and use food as the fuel for your body and the fuel for your life. Number 21, the regular American diet is designed to keep you sick and stuck. So you need to break the cycle. So what this means is every time you go out to eat, you will have to do things that are unconventional. You're gonna have to go to a restaurant and ask for modifications. You're gonna have to go to the grocery store and be on different aisles than other people are. You're gonna have to go to a fast food place and order different types of food. That's why I offer so many different fast food alternatives, because you're gonna have to do this. The standard American diet is designed to keep you sick and stuck. And so if you're at dinner with your friends or with your family and you have to make different decisions than they are with your eating, that's okay, that's normal, because the standard American diet was not designed for you to be in shape or to be lean. Number 22, sitting is the new smoking. So what this means is one of the biggest things that's keeping you stuck in your fitness journey is the lack of movement you have on a daily basis. Our ancestors walked 16 to 17,000 steps per day, the hunter-gatherers. You today walk an average of 3,000 to 4,000 steps in a day. The average American does right now, 3,000 to 4,000. So we're walking about 25% less than our hunter-gatherer ancestors did. That means is you have to be extremely diligent and extremely focused on how you're getting movement in outside of your regular workouts. You could burn more calories by moving more outside of your workout than you can in your workout. Number 23, life is better and weight loss is easier when you cut out alcohol. Alcohol can be the one thing that holds you back from losing weight, building six-pack abs, and staying stuck. And so it's not just about the extra calories that come with alcohol. It's typically the extra calories you eat when you consume alcohol. I've never heard of someone throwing back multiple shots and then going and eating a salad or chicken and broccoli. No. When you drink, you go to things like pizza, chips, bread, etc. So you don't make good eating decisions and eating choices. So if you truly want to become the healthiest and best version of yourself, you need to either completely cut out alcohol or just decrease alcohol intake to as least as possible. Now I want to talk about relationships and influence, because this will massively dictate the future of your life. Number 24 is most people will not support your weight loss journey because of insecurity or jealousy. So here's what's crazy about when you start a fitness journey and you have success in your own fitness goals. At first, people are cheering you on. They're clapping for your success. They want to see you win. But the second you start to change, the second you start to lose weight, the second you start to fit into different clothes and you look different, this is when things start to shift for other people. Because they've set a goal of losing weight, but they didn't follow through. So they're going to cheer you on when you get started, but when you finish, that's when they're going to be like, oh, you're a fitness freak, or oh, you're taking this thing too seriously, or oh, you're too committed, or you're better than us now. And so most people are not going to support your weight loss journey, unfortunately, because of insecurity or jealousy, and that's okay. They don't have to support your journey because it is your journey. But what's important is you have to build peace with that. You got to be okay with having people not be okay with the way you look and the changes you made in your body. Number 25 is I would rather have 5 ride or die brothers than 50 friends. So as you age, one of the things that I've learned, especially now that I'm in my 30s, is I would rather have like a couple of people that are very close to me that are ride or die versus a bunch of people that are my close acquaintances. And that's okay. It's okay to have a smaller circle. I would rather have a smaller circle than a bigger circle. And I think I'm able to have better quality relationships when I focus on only a few people versus a lot of people. Number 26, you need to delete, unfollow, and unsubscribe from anyone on social media that does not inspire you to live a better life. And this is something I do on a daily basis, is I'm either unfollowing people, I'm unsubscribing from emails, I am just deleting things off of my phone that do not help me live a life that I will be proud of in the future. And especially in our digital world, not only do you need to fix your physical environment, but you need to be super focused on your digital environment. So what is the digital media you are consuming? On top of that, who are you consuming that information from? The next section I want to dive into family and legacy. And I think this is huge because most of us want to change the trajectory of our family. We want to create a legacy that lasts after we're gone. But there's a few things you have to do to make that happen. So number 27, if you are out of shape, your kids will likely be out of shape too. Now, the thing with kids, something that I've learned, especially with having 4, is they follow your footsteps. And so if you are out of shape and a kid has one parent that is out of shape, they have a 50% chance of becoming obese. So if a child has one parent that's obese, they have a 50% chance of obesity. Here's where it gets crazy. If that same child has 2 parents that are obese, both their parents are obese, they have an 80% chance of obesity. Not because of genetics, mainly because of habits. So if you truly want your kids to live a different life than you did, you have to lead by example. Number 28 is your kids follow what you do, not what you say. So if you're telling your kid to eat healthy, if you're telling your kid they need to do X, Y, and Z, but you are not doing it, they in turn will do what you are doing. And they're not going to follow your words, they're going to follow your actions. And so if you want to leave a bigger legacy, and the thing with generational curses is a lot of generational curses start with your habits. They start with what you do. And so in order to break that, I got to change the way that I'm living if I want my kids to live differently than me. Number 29, your weekends are for getting ahead, not falling behind. So don't waste them. So if you have kids, if you want to truly leave a legacy that is bigger than yourself, you can't just chill all weekend long. And I remember when I broke free of this mindset of like the weekends are for resting and chilling, and I was like the weekends are for getting ahead. So the weekends are for creating your legacy projects. So maybe the weekends are for building the body that you can lead by example for your kids for. And life is so much easier when you use your weekends to get ahead, because now you go into Monday and you're ahead of the game versus being behind. And so what I like to do is I really like to work on my legacy projects and legacy tasks. So the things I want to leave after I'm gone on the weekends, that way over time, those things build up. Section number 6 is I want to talk about how you're living past this life. And so what I truly believe, and this is number 30, is that God's timing is better than our timing. And even for myself, like whenever I try to do things and force things on my own time, it never works out. And so one of the things that I truly believe is just by trusting God's timing, I'm able to actually walk in my purpose with a lot more peace. And number 31 is, if it won't matter in 5 years, then don't worry about it for more than 5 minutes. How many of us sit around and we worry about things that truly don't matter on the daily basis? And these things we worry about over and over and over again, a lot of times they don't matter tomorrow. And if it's not going to matter in 5 years, then don't worry about it for more than 5 minutes. Just place it to the side. And so I hope you got some value from today's video. If you did, please let me know. There's 2 ways you can support the podcast if this is helpful for you at all. Way number 1 is you can subscribe to the podcast either on Apple, or you can follow the podcast on Spotify. Way number 2 is you can leave the podcast a genuine 5-star review anywhere that you listen to it. I'll see you on the next one. God bless. Peace.